guys, it's me, 𝗥xy Rainbow.
And I'm Renata from the 𝗃spot.
And welcome back to episode 24 of the Joint Slay podcast. In this episode, girl, this was a crazy Super Saturday, and we have got so much to talk about. We have Norway, Spain, Ukraine. Oh my God, our notes are so long. I'm like trying to scroll. Malta. All selected their entrance for Eurovision 2024. And we even have some national selections. Girl, their semis are still going. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about, a lot of songs this week. We are also hard at work preparing for our UMK trip, which we will be at by the time this episode airs. So there's a lot going on. But before we get into all of that exciting news, we of course want to thank our patrons. These are people who went over to patreon.com/jointslay podcast, who supported the podcast and also gain access to a couple of nice little benefits, such as the full-length video episodes of every single podcast, ad-free, as well as now with snippets of the songs in them, which I did get some reviews back from some of our patrons that did say that it was insanely helpful as a listener. It also helps break it up a little bit so that you kind of know what we're talking about. So definitely, if that's something that you are interested in, head over to Patreon and subscribe. And another thing that you get when you subscribe is a shout out at the beginning of the episode, like the following people. So shout out to Meredith, Danielle, O'Beely, Alistair, Russell, Shoegazer, Daniel, Kathleen, Suniva, Norbert, Jackson, Penny, and Andrew. And if you want to shout out at the beginning of next episode, make sure you head over to Patreon and subscribe. Thank you to everybody who subscribed over on Patreon, and also thank you to everybody who has been listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And if you're enjoying the podcast, make sure you rate, review, comment, like, subscribe, follow, whatever platform you're on. Do all of the things because it helps immensely. And yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get right into the episode. All right, so the first national selection that we had, that we gained a Eurovision entry from, was Norway with Melodi Grand Prix. So we have been following Melodi Grand Prix extensively over here on this channel from right when the artists dropped and the songs dropped and then every single semifinal, despite, you know, how arduous it became at times and slightly torturous. We powered through and we are here at the end, and we got a winner from that, and that is Gåte with their song 𝗲𝗍𝘆. Now, we're not going to go through all of the songs, of course, because we literally talked about them like every single episode the past like 5 weeks. So we're not going to go through every single song, but definitely we want to give our thoughts on this winner. So I am, first of all, I'm so excited. Going into MGP finale, who were you rooting for? For me, it was 𝗄𝗎𝘆, My AI, or Mia Green Lights. Those were my top 2 winners. What about you?
I think that I was between My AI and 𝗍𝗶𝘆. As far as those just being the songs that matched like my style, they're the type of songs that I like to listen to. In fact, they're the only 2 songs from this selection that I have added into my playlist.
Oh, really? Wow. Interesting. I mean, y'all know I was kind of a stan. But those were definitely my winners. But the battle, ultimately, I felt like leading up to MGP was between Gåte and Kino. And
Kano.
so Kano, I can't ever say it right. I'll always pick the wrongest of the wrong. But of the 2, I was rooting for Gåte. So I'm very excited that they won, and it was super duper close between those 2. Like, it really was between them. So Kano ultimately came in with 244 points, and Gåte ended up winning with 250 points. So it was really close, because then third place was My AI with only 165 points. So it really was between those 2. Although this song is ultimately not like my favorite, it wouldn't have been my first pick or my second or my third, but it was definitely up there for me. It's not my favorite song that I'm like streaming all the time, but when I watch that performance, I do look at it and think, wow, this is this is impressive. This is different. This is unique for Norway. And this is something that I feel like it almost would have been a crime not to see this in
Mhm.
Eurovision compared to how different it was from everything else. Pretty much all the other entries are stuff that we probably have seen in some iteration in Eurovision. And this is so uniquely Norwegian. It's literally in Norwegian, which I think the last time they did that was 2006. And it's got so much culture and folklore behind it, so much so they had to change the lyrics because it was a little too referential.
Literally,
But
they had like a week to change their lyrics. It's
yeah,
like, don't you think after all the months that this song has been in the hands of the
yeah,
producers that they would have realized, before like 1 week? But they turned it around really fine.
yeah, they did. They did. And it ended up sounding good. None of it sounded like, oh, whoa, that's totally different from the original. It just sounded like almost just a new version, which is what it was. And
Mhm.
it didn't sound grating or anything like that, in that respect. And I'm excited to see Norwegian and Norwegian culture on the stage. And I think that Norwegians seem excited to have that be their representative as well.
Yeah, I think that they actually made the right choice here out of what's there. Like, it might not be like my personal favorite, but it was a really good choice. And I think probably it will end up being more competitive than any of the other songs would
Hmm.
have been, based on how unique it is.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like as much as I really like Kano and it would be really cool to see them back at Eurovision, it's not as strong of a song as Spirit in the Sky.
Hmm.
And it is something that's a little bit more familiar at this point. And it's nice to have something that's totally different from the past few years, especially of what they sent. We had
Hmm.
Pop Girly with Alessandra. We had the
Can't be weird.
yeah, Can't Be Weird, Give a Wolf a
Subwoofer.
Banana. We've had who else was there? What else have they had?
Ticks.
Ticks, which so like all of these songs are
Yeah.
very, very different. And a lot of
Hmm.
people were saying it felt like, that Norway was just gonna kind of be like the quirky entry country now. And
Hmm.
I actually I felt like a lot of people were overreacting at the beginning about the amount of like quirky entries in national finals. And I had been saying the whole time, like, just because there's quirky songs in the national finals doesn't mean that they're gonna get chosen in the end. And
Hmm.
of course, that's what happened in this case and in another country that we're going to talk about where like and I that's why I like national finals because you do get to experience all those different kinds of songs. But I think they really made a good choice here. It might not end up being in my top 10, but that's not because it's not a good song. It is a really good song and the performance is good. And I think if they just elevate what they did for MGP, then it's going to be great at Eurovision.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this is, yeah, I'm excited about for Norway. I don't know if I see it as a Eurovision winner, but it's also one of those ones that is so unique and so different that you never know. Maybe it's just not clicking for me, but it's been clicking really hard for other people, you
Yeah,
know?
some people
So,
really love it. And it just occurred to me as well, because they use that kind of rotating thing in the middle of the stage,
ooh,
that the stage this year is in the round where it's got audience on basically all
hmm,
four sides of it. They're gonna do
that would be
something
cool.
really cool. The staging lends itself to that. So it'll
Yeah.
be really cool to see whatever they do with this one.
Yeah. And then we move from MGP to another national selection we've been covering a little bit, a decent bit over here, which was Spain. And we are not going to go over in depth the semifinals because, to be honest, there wasn't much to say. Just giving my thoughts on the semifinals, they were rough. They were rough, and
Mhm.
I will say the people who qualified, I think, were the right ones to qualify
Yep.
because especially when I went back and I rewatched the semifinals when I was doing my notes for this, and I was like, ooh, ooh, these were pretty bad. Like, actually, really hard to get through. And the songs that I really liked, a lot of them were just like destroyed by bad sound mixing or just poor decisions in their
Yeah.
staging. Like, it was rough. It was actually rough.
Yeah, the sound alone was a really big problem. Like there were
Mm.
some people who were so quiet.
Yeah. And like, you could tell they were belting, they were yelling,
Yeah.
but it was just not coming through. Like, it was
Yeah,
wild.
semifinals were a bit of a mess, and the point system is a bit of a mess as well, where basically the the point system, the public vote is very little. It's, I think, 50%
Mhm.
jury, 25% demoscopic, 25% public vote. And we
Mhm.
had a situation where the public vote winner did not
Yes.
qualify, which doesn't seem right. Although I wasn't a huge fan of that song, like it, but that sent the message to the voters that it doesn't matter how much you vote for something because your vote winner might not win anyway because of the demoscopic and the jury. So it's like, why bother voting? And I think it's €1.45 to
Oh,
vote, which is
yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Mantra ended up winning the televote, and they didn't even qualify because of those juries, and I think, this is the hard thing. This is what I struggle in these situations because sometimes a national selection, you know, you look at that and you're like, "Oh, that's not really fair." But also I kinda agree with the just on
Yeah.
this one. So maybe because I mean, that harkens back to Chanel when in the final, she came 3rd in the televote. So, like, the public did not want her, but I think we can all agree that that was the best option ultimately for Spain to send. And I think in the end, like looking at the results, it was still like the Spanish people got what they wanted. It was the televote winner. It was, so ultimately the Spanish people did get somebody that I think that they can be
Mhm.
excited about and stand behind.
I'm
Um,
excited.
I know you are. I'm sure you are. Um, so I guess we could just if we want to go in order of last place to
Yeah, let's
first.
do that.
So in last place in the final was Miss Cafina with their song
Robbed.
Blah Robbed, blah blah blah.
Robbed.
Robbed. This was literally so fucking good. I remember on the timeline in that first semifinal, I was like, it was them and one other person. I was like, they were the only people that did good. Them and Angie. I was like, those were the for me. And I saw like no talk about them at first. And I was so glad they went through to the final, even
Mhm.
though they got last. They were so good. They had good vocals. That guy's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, which one? They all were.
I know. And then also like interesting and different. The staging was cool with like whenever he goes inside that box and then there's the weird camera angle on him. And I'm like, they were doing some fun stuff with that. And it's a catchy song. Like that song be stuck in my head the whole day.
Same.
I'm surprised like, people didn't get behind this as much as I did personally. It was definitely in my top maybe 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think this one was my solid second place. So
Mm.
I couldn't believe it when I saw the scores come in and just be last in basically every category because I thought it was so
Mm.
good. And I think part of the reason that I liked it so much is because it did remind me a lot of 𝗲𝗲𝘅. I mean, it's like a three-piece, like hot guys, and I mean,
Yeah.
like and it had like it's sort of like the like electro pop rock, a little bit
Mm.
like indie vibe, and the monochrome staging, which was also how 𝗲𝗲𝘅 did it.
Yeah.
With this was baby blue, they were red. So I mean, it was very much, it was very me coded. It was definitely like a lot of things that I like. So I mean, I'm glad it made it to the final, but this was a
Yeah.
disappointing result.
It was because it almost feels like they didn't do anything wrong too. When
No.
you look at it and there's like, what was the bad thing? What was bad about this for it to get last? But
Yeah.
last in the final is still,
Mhm.
that is a pet peeve of mine in the Eurovision fandom is when people say something came last and it was last in the final. It did not come last. It came 24th, 25th, 26th. It did not come last
Yeah.
unless it's a automatic 5, big 5 qualifier, then that's fair because they couldn't
Yep.
go any lower. But,
Yep.
like, I don't know. Anyways, so then in, 7th place was 𝗫cie𝗁 with her song "Here to Stay." I was shocked. This was so bad.
It was
This
awful.
was horrible, and, we were already not people that were behind this song really, but I wanted to stan her, and I still stan her, but I just think every decision of this was wrong. I think from that outfit, the only good thing was that first shot where you see her from this much up and you see the hat and you see the top of her dress and she looked really good and she had her bejeweled teeth. I thought that looked really good. Then it pans out. What the fuck was she wearing? I mean, was that like a denim dress that was like ruched up? And then she's got it's like a a, a cardinal sin in drag in the drag world where you can see your reveal underneath your outfit. She's wearing full-on pants basically. They made to be chaps in the end, but like she's wearing these gold pants that don't make sense with the rest of her outfit that are fully visible. It just looked so weird. It's supposed to be inspired by Dali. Girl, no. I wasn't getting that at all. I liked the spiral, like the spinning spiral staircase, but then she was like struggling to go up it. Like the dancing felt very clunky. It felt like, again, this song was already given Drag Race song. Then it's giving a Drag Race challenge where they have to learn choreography and perform it in 24 hours, but they're trying to throw all of their best moves into this thing that they do not have enough time to prepare and get it all together. And so it's just looking clunky, and that's what it was giving with the dances. Why were her extensions not blended at
Oh
all?
my god, that was so bad. That was reminding me of when I was, like, 14 and seeing the kids scene style, like, emo was really
Yeah.
huge, and everybody had, like, clip-in hair extensions where it
Yeah.
would be girls would have, like, a normal, pixie cut or, mullet, but then they've got these, like, rat tails coming out, it
Yeah.
was also very, Rock of Love era.
Mhm.
Those girls having, like, the unblended extensions, just such a bad dated look for
She
me.
should have just worn a wig. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point, I mean, her hair looks like it's my length. Like, like it was like these little pieces and then just long. I was like, girl, this was not, it wasn't working for me. I think she was actually lucky to get to the final with this.
Oh, and the lyrics were so bad too, and at one point she said, "I'm here to stay in the final," and I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, because you're not going to Eurovision with this song, baby."
Yeah. Yeah. But we stand her. Um, anything else on that song?
I mean, she looked like she was having fun, but yeah, this
Yeah.
one, I can't believe that blah 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 came lower than this one
Yeah.
by
This
quite a
was,
bit too, 59 to 73.
yeah, this was my Mi Familia for me. It was,
Mm,
like, rough. Actually,
yeah.
Mi Familia was a good song, though, but, anyways, we had Maria Pelea with Remitente. Um, I was kind of shocked for this to get 6th, but I also didn't feel like I was shocked in the sense that not looking at all the other entries, but it really didn't at the beginning of the season when I saw her name on the list, Maria Pelea, I did not think this woman could come 6th. I thought this woman is winning for sure because, ultimately I didn't love the song, that she ended up going with, but she's just such a professional performer, and she sounded amazing live. She's got so much intensity and energy when she's performing. I saw some people making fun of aspects of her performance, like this part where she's surrounded by all the naked men and she's like, "Do, do, 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 do." I thought I got chills. I thought, wow, like she's like, I mean, she's really an amazing performer. She just needs a better song. I don't think she will ever come back. I think this was one of those situations where they asked her to be here, and that's why she ended up just having a song off her album. So I really don't see her ever coming back. But I hope she does, and I hope that she does with a better song.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the song was fine, but it wasn't anything that was very special.
Mm,
Um, I think she deserved way better though, based on performance alone.
yeah.
She should have been maybe around maybe 3 or 4 for me,
Mhm,
even though it wasn't my
mhm.
favorite. I thought the performance of it was really, really good. In fact, probably one of the best, if not
Yeah,
the best performances, quality wise.
yeah, I agree. Then we had Almacore with his song Brillos Platino. I'm gonna be honest. This, I love this. This was so good. His final performance was better, way miles better than the semifinal performance. Although I think everybody's was mainly just due to sound mixing and everything. But he's got such good energy on that stage. He's so charismatic. And I remember that was something I was actually very concerned about because there were videos of his performances, his live performance before where he like looks like a brick performing, like just like no energy. He was not that. He had so much energy. He was having so much fun. Like you fell in love with him. I love the Poland effect. Okay, I love the Poland editing effect on this, where there was just so much effects and weird stuff, but he was working with it. I like when someone's interacting with the effects the way that he was. So I liked it. I thought it worked. I think in terms of song, this would have been one of Spain's better choices, just because this is one that's more modern. I feel like would appeal to the European audience. Um,
Mm.
so I thought this was really good. To me, it was between him and Angie, for me personally, as winners.
Yeah, I thought this one was really bad.
No,
Um,
no.
but I mean, like, I do like the song, but I thought the performance was just it was just so awful to the point where I couldn't even believe that they allowed him to do this competition. He
What?
doesn't seem like he can sing live well at all.
No, no, he
And
sounds good to me.
I mean, I the final was better, but it was still just like I can't believe that he scored above this last song we just talked about
That's
because she was a much better
yeah,
performer. Like she
that's
actually
fair.
sounded good. He didn't sound good. He was breathy. It just
Yeah.
wasn't crisp.
Mm.
He is definitely hot. Like I
Ugh,
didn't mind looking at
he's so
him,
baby girl.
but I did not enjoy I was like it was literally kind of like points where it was like nails on a chalkboard to me where I'm just like, "Oh
Mm.
god, this sounds just like shit." And
Okay.
I'm I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Well, from baby girl to girly pop, we had Jorge Gonzalez with his song Caliente. I thought this one was actually like worlds better than I was ever expecting. Hated this song, hated this like before the live show, but I just thought, wow, oh my God, like he really kind of performed the hell out of this really mid song. Um, Again, like not my favorite song, but he performed it. He was giving full on sex and like unapologetic sex. He sounded great. He's straight. This is where my confusion lies because that was a gay performance. Like this
Extremely
was
gay.
gay. I mean, like I thought that was the whole thing. Like he was like humping on these men basically. I'm I was shocked by that revelation. You know, I was telling Renata off camera, there's a lot of people this week that have come out as straight that I'm just overwhelmed. This what's happening in 2024? I don't know. Um,
Everyone's straight all of a sudden. What's going
what's
on?
going on with that?
Yeah, I loved his outfit. Whatever
Mm,
that like app like
yeah.
I don't know if they were stuck on him or if it was like a really tight like mesh that was on him, but I loved the outfit. I thought it looked really good. I thought the song was I don't know, kind
Mhm.
of mid really. Just not anything super special. Also like Caliente even just on its own like if you told me that that what's his name from Sweden was having a song called Caliente.
Mhm.
Do you know Alvaro
I know.
Estrella?
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, that sounds like an Alvaro Estrella song,
Yeah.
Caliente.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, there was his performance was exciting, but I don't think the song is.
Mhm. This is one of the ones though that I have gone back and like every time it shows up on my Twitter, I'm like rewatching it because I think he kind of ate that.
Mm.
But speaking of eating, by the way, do you know the difference between girly pop and baby girl?
No, what's the
Girly
difference?
pop is gay and baby girl is straight, but he's like baby girl.
Mm.
So 𝗲𝗏𝗄𝗃 to me is like baby girl. Cause like he still gives straight vibes, but he's like a cutie.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But like Jorge Gonzalez, I learned that definition this week, so I just thought I'd
I've never heard that
share the
before.
knowledge. Well, then we had Angie Fernandez with her song "Sé quién soy." Bitch, for me, this should have won. And especially like rewatch, like after watching that final compared to the semifinal, like she was so fucking good, consummate professional. And what I loved specifically about her performance, first of all, I loved her outfit. I love her orange hair with the black and white was like so striking. She's such an emotive performer. And this was one where fully in Spanish, but I understood 100% the message of what she was trying to deliver with this performance and the story of the song, with the way she was performing it, with her emotions, the way she was performing with the dancers. Like that moment where it kind of like opens up and she's got her back to the camera and she kind of turns around nervously. Nerve, she turns around, she's like, oh, I don't know, like the whole thing told me a story the whole way. And then whenever they're like, she's embraced by the dancers and it's like she's consoled. I don't know if that's what she's saying because I didn't look up the translation, but it sounds like she's saying like console. And she's literally being consoled by these dancers in this moment. And then she's like, boom, da, da, na, na, na. Like it just told me a story all the way through. And I just thought this was so strong. I really think this was to me Spain's best chance at the best result to me. I like who won, but I just feel like this was really strong for me.
So this one just was not clicking for me. And whenever we did the initial like listens when the songs came out, it didn't really hit me. And I agree with you about like her physical performance on the stage was really good. Like her connection with the camera was really good. I didn't think she sounded very good. And I just don't really like the song. So like that, I mean, that's the biggest barrier here, right? In a
Yeah.
song contest is if you don't really like the song, it doesn't matter how good the performance is or how much you like the staging or their look. Like so this one, yeah, this one unfortunately not
Yeah.
a winner to me at all.
I've been in my emo rock phase for some reason. Like my winner for Serbia, like we're not talking about it, but my winner for Serbia is their song 𝗬𝗏𝘆𝘆, and everybody was shocked. They were like, Maxxy, what's with you standing all these damn rock songs this year? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of 𝗥𝗶𝗆 on YouTube. I'm just in my emo girl era. Like, just let me live. And she was my paramour with the orange hair and everything.
Yeah, I did like her orange hair. It works
Yeah,
for her.
yeah. And then in second place, I'm actually shocked she didn't get second place. But in second place was Saint Pedro with his song Dos Extraños Cuarteto de Cuerda. Well, okay, I thought this was beautiful for what it is, and this is one of those ones where I'm watching it, I'm thinking, wow, this is beautiful. This is very well done. He's delivering it live. It's very classy. It's romantic. I'm getting the story. It's not for me. It's too slow. It doesn't go anywhere for me, but that doesn't take away the fact that it was very well done and it is good for what it is. But it's just like not the kind of music I listen to. So like you said, like if you just don't like the song, it's just only going to be so good. Like I liked the way they presented it, but it just was never going to do much for me. But I love that this one felt so Spanish in such a different way compared to like what we normally get with like a lot of the times the flamenco kind of vibe. This was Spanish in like a romantic, beautiful, softer kind of way that was beautiful. I think this would have been, I mean, these top three to me would have been all great representatives for Spain in different ways.
Yeah, I agree with you pretty much with everything you just said. Like you can't fault it for the performance or anything. It's not really my taste at all. This kind of felt like a little bit of analogous to like Italy last year with Marco Mengoni, where it's a song that's very competently performed, that really represents that particular musical style and the culture of the country, the strong male vocalist, solo vocalist kind of thing. But in both cases, they just don't do anything for me whatsoever.
Yeah. Yep. But speaking of doing something for us was
Oh my God.
Nebulosa, the winner with her song or their song, Zora, Thora, bitch.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's really rare that my favorite song wins a national selection like ever. And from the beginning, this was my favorite song. From when we first did the
Yeah.
listens, I was like, well, this one I really like. I really like it a lot. And I think that the performance maybe left a little bit to be desired as far as like maybe like vocal skill or vocal presentation, because I don't doubt that she has the skill to do it. It's just that she wasn't totally hitting it on both nights. Second night was better, but I just think the vision here is so awesome. I thought the staging was so good. I loved that um that they did kind of like the role reversal. She's in a suit and then she has the men in the kind of like the
Mhm.
lingerie and that round couch thing in the middle, and I could really see how they could elevate it for
Mm.
Eurovision. And also I just happen to really like the song itself.
Yeah.
Like I like that kind of like disco feel. It just uh everything about it just is right for me. And it is probably my first place of the songs that we have right now, actually. I really love it. And I know some people think that it won't do well. I don't care if it does well or if it doesn't do well. Um, but I don't think that it's like a last place contender at all. I think
Hmm.
people are going to like it. I think there'll be a lot of people like me who recognize the music itself as being really accessible, but then there's also this added element of it like being an older adult woman, which we don't normally see very often. That probably will stand out to people, especially because she's kind of an unconventional adult woman.
Mhm.
So I have a really good feeling about what this one could do. I'm not saying it's going to come top 10, but I don't think it's going to be bottom 5 like a lot of people are predicting.
Yeah. I think it could be bottom 5 personally, based on what we've got. Because I don't know, I feel bad because literally everything you said you liked about it, I didn't like.
Oh
Like
no.
I did not like the styling. I did not like the staging. I do like the song a lot. And I like the concept of that, like almost, oh, women have been objectified like for all of eternity, so let's objectify the men a little bit and like switch the roles. And I like that idea, and I think they should play on that still, because that's of course like the whole point of the song. And I like that idea. I didn't interpret her outfit as being a suit at all. I think if she was in like a sharp, structured, actual like suit, like sharp pointy shoulders and maybe
Mm,
like some bell bottom, like but like dramatic. So it gives her like a crazy cool shape and it's like very, very, just serve and very obvious as a suit because I didn't get that. And I feel like if I had seen that, even that helps a little bit more with the visuals because just like men in like slutty, proper like lingerie, and then her in like this like workman's suit kind of business woman, bad bitch, switch the roles a little bit around like, and I think it needs more color. Like I just thought it was very dark, and this song I wish they almost played a little bit more into like the 80s synthwave kind of vibe, and they had like in the music video, they had like the blue and pink lights and stuff. I kind of
yeah.
wanted that. I didn't like the like reds and oranges with all that black. Like there was just so much black. It was so dark. Like the outfits, that's the thing is like there's all the ruffles and there's all these little details, but it's all black and it's way too dark to see any of those details. So I think like going with a more clear, obvious style that's like distinguishable as something, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I get what you're saying. I think that makes sense. And I actually did prefer the color palette and like the visuals that they used in the music video. But
Yeah.
I don't think Spain is a country that really like switches it up much. Although I guess Chanel did have different outfits. They wore
Yeah, and
different
so yeah, and
outfits.
and so did Blanca. So
Oh yeah, that's
we,
right.
I mean, and even the staging. I mean, Chanel's staging was completely different because she was going for 80s synthwave in the national selection, and she completely switched it around. So, oh well, I mean, I don't know if that was really their choice, given the thingy, the what was that called? The sun.
The sun.
Um,
Oh,
but
but you're
anyways,
right. You're right. She did go from colorful in the national final to then being
yeah,
like the
like golds
matador,
and.
black and
Mhm.
red and gold.
So they might switch it around. I think they should, because
Hmm.
I do think it's a good song and I think it's a great message. And there's definitely very easy ways to showcase that message without it having to be in like English, with it being all in Spanish. You don't have to understand the lyrics to understand what she's saying. So I think they've got and you know what's one thing is like I was whenever I'm looking at all the entries, I'm like, Oh my God, I can't believe Spain sent this. Like, that's so I'm just excited that they went with this option because and seeing how excited Spanish people are about this entry just makes me happy. Like, I'm just happy that Spain can send entries that they can be proud of, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And actually, I have a ice skating buddy here in the States, and she's from Spain. Actually, not far from Benidorm. She's from Valencia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I had sent her the song, and she loves it. She thinks it's great. So she's even happy with the choice as well.
Mm. And this will definitely be a lip sync song on Drag Race España coming soon.
Oh,
And I won't
definitely.
doubt that she's also going to be a guest judge.
Yeah.
So, and you know what else is exciting is she went from NQ from San Marino's San Voce whatever to a winner of Benidorm Fest. And who knows,
Amazing.
we might see what was her name? 𝗥𝗏𝗆. We might see 𝗥𝗏𝗆 because 𝗥𝗏𝗆 from last year is competing in San Marino's national selection. And who knows, they could win. They could
Yeah,
win. That would be
anything's
very
possible.
weird. All right. And then speaking of weird, we move on to Ukraine's national selection. It actually wasn't that weird, but
It was a great
that
show, actually. I
yeah,
well, it was great performances. I did not watch the live show, and of course, it went on
thank
for
God you
almost
didn't.
5 hours. Like, holy shit. Like, that I mean, even Italians don't have that
Yeah.
longevity. Or I mean, maybe they do. I don't know. How long does San Remo ever go past 4.5 hours?
I have no idea, but I know that that was not what they were planning
Yeah.
on because I remember literally I was looking at all the national selections that were playing this Saturday and I was trying to think of which one I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch 𝗏𝗏𝘅 because it was happening the earliest and I was like, "Oh, that works best for me." But then I was thinking, "Oh my God, why is this 4 hours and there's only 11 songs?" Like, I cannot sit through this. And it's of course like they also do those like critiques at the end of the performances and like and I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear their negative critiques. We already talked about that with Ireland. I don't like, and I just don't like that person with the mask is Verka, right? The
Yes.
judge.
Yeah.
So I need to just disconnect the two because every time I see him in this judging setting, I hate him.
His name is Andre, I think.
I don't like him. He's so mean. He is so mean. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just, I'm like, damn, Verka, like, come on, girl. But anyways, basically what happened was before we get into like talking about all of the songs, there was a whole issue with voting where the app was supposed to start like voting was supposed to open up the dia app. It was overwhelmed by the amount of people voting, so after 2 hours of the app being down past when the voting was supposed to start, they finally were like, all right, guys, we're just going to postpone the results till tomorrow. And so voting stayed open the whole night into that like afternoon. And then the evening is when they announced the results, which I got to say, I think was a good decision because,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, a lot of national selections would just say, fuck it. And we'll just give you the fucked up results. Because
Yeah.
shit like this happens where voting is down and stuff, and they just close it and they say, "Oh well,
Well, then the
yeah,
broadcaster has the right to just choose. And I think didn't Moldova do that where they basically did the audition phase and then they said, actually, we're not gonna have a contest. We're just choosing
yeah,
𝗏𝗏𝘅𝘆. Sorry guys, it's just clearly the
yeah,
best option. So we're just gonna call it right now.
yeah." So I mean, because one artist did like withdraw after the whole show was over.
Wait, who withdrew?
So Skylar, she after the show, but before the results, was like, "I'm withdrawing," and then 𝗏𝗏𝘅 literally came out and said, "You can't withdraw, girl. The show's over."
I mean, what difference does it make withdrawing though at that point after the show's over? I mean, don't
I
you
know.
withdraw so that you don't have to perform?
Yeah, I was just like, I didn't understand her reasoning to where she was like, she said, "Oh, it's unfair to some entrants or whatever." And even Melvin's saying the same thing right now. He's like, "Oh, they both were like, oh, it gives time for other people to get more votes than they would have gotten if it was just the live show." I was like,
No, it gives time for everybody to get more votes. They're
"Yeah,
all getting the
it's
same
more
amount of
fair.
time.
It's more
Yeah.
fair. Everybody gets the chance to vote." And it was fucking crazy because going from Spain, where the winning vote, or the winning entry had 4,000, not even 4,500 votes, to the winning entry of this having 700,000 votes and over
Insane.
over 1,150,000 Ukrainians ultimately voted in the app. That is crazy. If you said 1,100,000 people watched the show, I would think, oh, that's a good number. 1,100,000 people voted? That is crazy. That is crazy. So, ultimately, in the end, Alyona and Heil, with their song 𝗤𝗏 and Maria, ended up winning. Speaking of votes, girl, they had 723,000 votes. Second place in the televote only had 100,000. So that was
Wow.
like, girl, Ukraine spoke. And they wanted them. And we slay. And that was 𝗥𝗏𝘅 that came in second for the voting. But
You know what's really wild about those numbers you said about voting is I just checked. Spain has 10 million more people than Ukraine does.
oh my God. I was wondering what Ukraine's population even is.
It's like 36 million and Spain is 47 million.
That is wild. That is wild.
Although
That's
this was a much better competition than Spain's contest was. I mean,
oh yeah.
basically all of these songs were really good.
Yeah. Yeah, and what was weird about Spain was that they did have like a really high viewership, but just nobody voted because of the issues of their votes not even mattering and all this stuff. But even to be honest, looking at this, like the way that they do voting, I think that they should do votes the way that like what is it, Eurovision is done or whatever, or points are distributed for that. Maybe not Eurovision. I don't know. I don't really understand any of these things. But where it's like, oh, if you get 10 times the amount of votes as anybody else, then you're going to get like an absurd amount of points compared to anybody else. Whereas this, it's still like 12, 10, 11.
Oh, yes.
So it's
Yes.
like, there's actually not, when you look at the difference in points of 𝗤𝗏 and Maria got 21 points and 𝗤𝗏𝘅𝘆 got 19 points, but it's like, girl, but there's no comparison to the voting. Like, that's kind of wild. But anyways, so we can start from lowest to highest again with this. So in last place, 11th place, came 𝗫𝗏 with their song Slavic English. I gotta say, you know, for diversity purposes, I think it's great that they included something like this to come last place,
Yeah.
to take last place from anybody else. But this felt like an incomplete song performance. This reminded me of a worse version of that song Hate from a few years ago in 𝗏𝗏𝘅𝘆, if anybody remembers that. But that was really well done. This was I didn't yeah, it just felt like a unprofessional, unfinished performance for me.
Yeah, I didn't know about this one. To me, it felt like the type of thing that you would do for the final of your college theater class with a group
Mm,
of people that you just got put with because it's your classmates. Like that's
mhm.
what it just didn't feel like you said, it didn't feel super professional. The lyrics were really weird. I didn't totally understand what the song was trying to say. I do like that they tried something, like they had an idea and
Yeah,
they did it. And
they did.
I just don't know that it really worked. I Like you said, it was kind of like this was like the sacrificial lamb to take last place.
Yes, and thank God they did, because then in 10th place was 𝗫𝗏𝘅 with their song Glass. And this song was okay, so going into this, it was like first and second, this was in there for me, top two for me. Love the fucking song is crazy, and it's a hard song to pull off live, and vocals were amazing. This was just insane. Nothing like I've ever heard in any national selection before. It was so fucking cool. It was so different. It was so edgy. It was so dark. It was so weird and different. And I'm mad that this came 10th. I'm mad that, this was cool. I mean, I get it because it's like a very divisive, weird, dark, creepy thing. But there were a lot of things like that in this national selection. 𝗏𝗏𝘅𝘆's no stranger to stuff like that.
Mhm.
And This was fucking cool. Like, I'm kind of sad that this didn't do well.
I loved this one. I also
Yeah.
was really, really bummed out to see it be this low because I liked this one a lot more than some songs that came above it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we had 𝗲𝗏𝘆 with their song Endless Chain. And I thought his voice was really cool. It was really strong. It was very different coming from that twink. But it was so like sleazy and not in like a good way, like in a weird, like, I don't know. Sleazy, I like with Nebulosa.
Yeah.
That's a good sleaze. This was like, I don't know. It wasn't a good vibe for me, and the song did nothing for me. And it was like a lot of elements that none of it made sense to me. Like his voice doesn't connect to the song, doesn't connect to the performance.
I did not like this one. It just I it was just really messy. I didn't understand like the two dancers that he had with them, and actually the critique afterwards. They did have an English translator
Mm.
um, when I was watching, and uh, so I got to hear what they said about this one, and they said like you should probably have a band with you because this wasn't really working.
Mhm.
Um, I really didn't like this song. I liked Glass way more than this one.
Um, I think now that I'm not speaking for us, right? I'm not speaking for our opinions, but for other people, thinking from their brains, this is probably how they saw Theodore Andre.
I saw somebody say something. There was some kind of a reference to Theodore Andre, and I thought about that, and I was like, you know, I guess so. The difference is that Theodore Andre is an incredible fucking singer.
Mm,
And we had plenty of opportunities to see his vocal talents before
mhm.
that as well. Um, I'll, but I do see that. I mean, just looking at it like on a factual level, male singer, kind of alternative guy, two female, like a little bit scantily clad. You know, there were guitars in both of them. So I see the comparison. I do, but I really liked DGT and I don't
Yeah,
like this one.
yeah, me as well. But then we had Anka with her song Halala, and bitch, I just thought this was really fucking good. I mean, 𝗏𝗏𝘅 is really strong, and then there kind of comes to be this point in the middle where it's like all really good songs that you're just
Mhm.
like, oh wow, these are all really good, and they stand out in their own ways in a way that they almost don't stand out because they're all really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like, I thought this was really good. I like the kind of, I don't know how would you describe the styling of the backing singers? To me, it looked like made almost like,
Yeah,
but like in a cool color palette, like it was all beiges.
it was more like Villager, I
Villager. Okay,
think.
villager is actually a better word. I was like, I couldn't think of the word, but I like that it was just, it kind of had this like this folk element surrounding it while and that's both with the song and the styling of everything. Folk elements, but then with like modern interesting twists to it. And same with her styling. Like I like the cool, like fucking furry, almost, I don't know, that whatever that, it was like not, it didn't look like soft fur. It looked like rough, like almost like hay in a
Yeah.
way. But I don't know, it was just all really cool. And she's such a good singer, and she was serving, and it was just a good mix of Ukrainian folk and modern music. And it's one of those ones that's going to be added to the playlist, and I'll listen to it for years.
Yeah, I thought this one was great. Quality of performance, check. Styling, check. Song, check. But I didn't feel like, well, I felt like it was a bit too familiar feeling for
Yeah.
me. I thought it sounded like a Kalush orchestra song.
Mm,
And I've been to Kalush twice for full gigs, not just like saw them perform like two songs. Like I've seen them perform like pretty much their whole catalog. And
mhm.
like I could easily see this being one of their songs. And now that I say that, I feel like I remember hearing that 𝗲𝗄𝘅𝘆 was involved with the song.
Oh,
Would this be the song that he was involved in? because that would if it's almost like with the 𝗟𝗏𝘅 thing. If this is the song that 𝗲𝗏𝘅𝘆 I think is his name.
Oh.
Oh, let's find out who the songwriter is.
No, it's just her.
Really? She's the only credited
Yeah, it's
songwriter?
just Anna Korchanova. I'm assuming that's her, given her name's Anna Anka.
She was the wild card. That's
Yeah.
right. They did that weird one person made it
Mhm.
through to the end.
Yeah. She was the wild card. And she ate as a wild card.
Yeah, oh my God, she
She
was
showed
really
why she
good.
deserved to be in the final.
She did. She did amazing.
Mhm.
She really did amazing. And it's kind of crazy that she did so amazing and came in 8th place.
I know, but there were some good ones above her.
Yeah.
Then we had Skylar. Time is running out, so this is the one who withdrew. Withdrew in
Oh,
air quotes.
yeah.
Um, and I fucking love this. I thought it was so good. I love the kind of like when she came in with a little rap, and I was like,
Mm,
this is how you deliver a ballad that I'm gonna still stand.
yes.
Because they called this boring in the show. That was their critique. Girl,
What?
what? This is like literally the opposite. This was crazy. This was like the entire way through. They added cool elements to bring it all together and make it interesting. Then she had her little dance moment where with all the dancers where she was like boom, 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 boom. They rip off her cloak. Like I was like, this was giving. This was sick. This was so cool.
I loved it. It was super up my alley. It was like an Aminata kind of drum and bass fusion, and I
Mhm.
really liked it a lot. It's and again, this is another one where it's like, wow, like it came 7th place, but it was so awesome. Like it really just
Yeah.
says what a strong competition this was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Vidbeer always turns it. Like then we had Ingrid with her song Keeper. To me, this one could have been a little lower. To me, because this
Mm,
one was just it was a okay, it was a cool switch up for Ingrid, but she's a good singer, but it was just like the lyrics were not working for me. They were a little too on the nose. And when she said like mothers and daughters, just the way she said it was like, oh, 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 like every time she said it, like it was just like, I don't know. Um, and for me, the song and the performance didn't really go anywhere. Like, you ever like they're like, let me refresh my mind. And you're skipping through and you're going, oh, okay, wait, we don't do anything this whole way through. It's just kind of the same way through. All right. That's kind of how I felt with this one.
yeah, this definitely wasn't one of my favorites. I like some of the other songs we've already talked about a lot more than I like this one, but the dress that she had on was so amazing. At first, I thought that it was actually that it had like that lightning bolt
Mm,
in the
mm,
fabric going down. And then once she
mm.
started moving, I realized like, oh my God, it's actually like such a metallic fabric, whatever
Oh,
that bias
yeah.
cut satin
I
is
think,
probably what
yeah.
it is. Unreal. It looked like liquid mercury or something. It looked like melted molten metal. It was just gorgeous. I was obsessed with that dress.
Yeah, what do they call it? It's like liquid silk is what they call it. And it's one of the most expensive fabrics that you can get. It's like one of those things that's like $100 a yard.
It's amazing. It's worth every penny. Oh my God. I was like stunned by the dress that I forgot that I didn't
Mm.
care for the song.
Yeah. And then we had the song by Yagodi Tsunamia. Yeah. Um, to me, this was one of my favorites. It would have, I don't know. I have a hard time. Nahaba, this one, and Mother Teresa. This was so fucking cool. It was crazy. It was dark. It was mystical. It was cultural. It had like a tribal element to it with those masks and everything. This is the shit that I live for. Like this, and ain't nobody doing it like this, like Ukraine. Like
Yeah.
nobody. This was crazy. I loved it so much.
I really loved this one. It was really cool. I love whatever that instrument was that they had
Mm,
was so awesome. It had a really cool sound, and you could just like the way that it looked and watching them play it was amazing too.
hmm
I really liked this one. I thought it was really cool and creative. and like it felt like real. It felt like such a moment that they
Yeah.
were doing, and it was theatrical, but it didn't feel like theater. I
Hmm.
really liked it a lot.
Yeah, this is something that I really want to see Ukraine send something like this. We get it in the selection all the time, but this is just such on another level to me that like if they were to send something like this to Eurovision Girl, that would be my winner, no questions. Because
Mhm.
it would just be like, I don't know. I remember Jamala did a song with an artist in the similar kind of vein where it was like this chanty kind of tribal element where she did it in the interval act back in 2017 when they were hosting, and they had all these like long, oh, almost like Kalush, like with the dancers that had all the fringe
Mm.
and stuff, and they were and I just that kind of shit just makes me pop off.
Yeah,
And
I
then
like
we have,
whenever they do the folklore elements. They do it really
yeah,
well.
they do it so well. um and then we had Yaktak with La La La. And I thought the beat drop was insane. I love his voice. I like the rap elements to it, but whenever he got to the point where he was singing like la la la, I was like, and it went on for so long at points where I was like, no, take me back to the rap. Take
Mm.
me back to the parts that were interesting. But this was a really good performance. Um, I thought it was good. It's just like there were elements to it that was like, okay, we've seen stuff like this to me, like even we've seen it in vid beer before, you know.
This one was a bit more contemporary, I think, than some of the other songs. So it did
Yeah,
just feel a bit more straightforward commercial.
yeah, yeah. But it was good.
I loved it. And in fact, I got really bummed out watching it because I remembered
Mm.
that I was supposed to see Yak Tak last year in Washington, D.C. So whenever I had seen Kalush, you know how like you'll go to gigs and there'll be like little cards for future events on the
Hmm.
tables. And I grabbed one because uh and I can't believe I'm blanking on his name right now. Uh nosy ballsy guy.
Yes.
Why am I not remembering his
Oh, we
name? Oh
had
my
this
God.
last time.
Literally. And I just looked at uh the card because I literally have it on my fridge, which I go in and out of multiple times a day, and I've got the very card that I picked up from that concert. But they were supposed to be Wellboy, Anton
Well,
Wellboy.
boy, yes.
Um it was Wellboy was headlining, and so I picked up the flyer because it was Wellboy, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I would love to see Wellboy. He's awesome. I love his music. And Yak Tak was one of the openers,
Hmm.
but the concert never happened because I think they couldn't get visas. Like
Hmm.
they were able to do a Canadian tour, but they couldn't come into the US. And whenever they rescheduled, I don't know if they ended up rescheduling DC, but if they did, like I missed out on it.
Yeah.
Um and it's like, damn, like I have to make sure that
That
I
would have been a
catch it
good
next
show.
time because it would have been a really good show.
Yeah. Yeah. I want him to come, like this specific song for me wasn't clicking, but I think he's one I could see going to Eurovision soon. Um, but speaking of going to Eurovision, but not this year, was Melvin with his song Dreamer, which I'm a Melvin stan, guys. I'm a Melvin stan. I love him. I wasn't vibing with this one. And I think it was like, okay, it was good. It was a good song, but it's just like truly like everything he's done. And like not even just his Vidbeer entries and what he sent to Eurovision, but even just his music that he's been doing. It's just like as a fan, I'm like, damn, like this is all the same. Like, can we switch it up a little
Mm,
bit? Like, when somebody's okay, this was a single you would have released, but this wouldn't have been one I would have picked out to send to Vidbeer. Like, you should have sent something different because it's like, especially Ukraine, I feel like every year they try to send something differently, not like they've ever sent before.
yeah.
And if you, number one, this is just like an entry that we've heard before, but it's the fact that it's also your own entry. Like
Yeah.
you as an artist, we want to see growth, we want to see change, we want to see, because like with Jerry Hill, girl, every year it's like there's different versions, different iterations. She's trying something different. That's how you win in the end.
Yeah.
Um Like, if you want to go back to Eurovision, we gotta take some risks, do something different, and see what sticks. Like, don't just try to repeat what you did that one last time. And the damn reflective shirt again.
It's getting so tired. That
Yeah,
and the bodysuits, I've really had enough.
yeah, yeah.
I did love the song though, honestly. And I thought that the camera angles that they did a lot of like these big sweeping like
Hmm.
crane shots. I was like, oh damn, like this looks amazing. So like that I could really see that elevate to Eurovision. I thought there was a moment where he took off the jacket that looked really messy because it kind of like he
Mm.
had to like change the microphone between his hands and like there was
Uh,
moments where he wasn't singing into the mic because he was trying to like whip the jacket off of his arm and it's like if you're gonna do a costume reveal thing like that, make sure you can take the thing off easily somehow that it's not going to get stuck on your arm because it was just like it was a bit distracting and it was supposed
yeah,
to be a moment but the moment was watching him struggle and
yeah,
that's not really slick. um so like it was a good song and it was a good performance, but you're right, it just wasn't like it wasn't enough to be worthy to send to Eurovision.
yeah. And it's making me kind of sad him doing like a little campaign right now saying like basically he was robbed. I'm like,
That that is icky, but I do want to say best wishes to Melvin because he's been
yes.
going through health troubles. I think he was diagnosed as diabetic,
Hmm.
which is life-threatening potentially if it's not managed. So wishing him good health. And I'm sure the mental anguish of not making it to Eurovision is probably not good for his health. So, regardless of what he might be
Mm.
saying about the fact that he lost, but okay, show me a year of Vidbeer where we didn't have some shit going down after the winner was won,
You
because it's
know,
every year there's always a little bit of drama going on regarding the voting and the whatever.
and I was on Vidbeer, the most iconic year of Vidbeer. So
What?
Crimea is Ukraine. I was featured on Vidbeer that year.
Were you really?
Yes.
Like a clip from one of your videos? Or,
Yes.
oh my
Yeah.
God, that's so funny. I didn't know that. What year?
Yes. So what year was that? 2019, 18?
Oh my God, wow, so long ago.
I know it was like right when I started. I was put on a lot of national selections that year. It was kind of weird.
Well, that's so
Um,
funny.
I looked fucking ugly, and that actually is specifically why I started pretty much only doing beauty makeup for my videos because I decided to do a little weird Halloween look that year, and I looked like a dead person, and I was on TV looking like a dead person, and I looked horrible. And I said,
That's so
never
funny.
again, never again.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but then we had Zifferblatt with their song Place I Call Home. And I was kind of shocked at this coming second place. Like, given all the amazing stuff we just saw,
Mm.
this was not bad at all. And I liked, it was a nice change of pace to everything else in Vidbeer. But for this to come second was just kind of shocking to me and like almost winning. I mean, what, a 2 point difference? Really? Like, to me, it was kind of boring, wasn't special. It was derivative of so many things from the past. Like, really? So close to winning? I mean, thank God it didn't, but
Yeah, this one wasn't interesting to me at all. And it reminded me, and I don't know if it's necessarily like a good comparison, but I kept thinking about Coldplay, who I really
mm.
can't stand because I worked in retail for a long time and I was subjected to listening to a lot of Coldplay songs.
Mm.
And this just sort of felt like it was in that sort of same realm of like extremely safe
Hmm.
music. Like this, it was very, it was just like, where's the flavor? Kind of
Yeah.
like it was like it sounded fine, it was well performed, but it was just like, it just felt, it was so beige.
Yeah, even the staging was just blah. Like, it was all just gray and white and black and eh.
Yeah, this was not deserving of a second place compared to some of the other much more interesting songs that we had in this selection.
Yeah, yeah. And then we had the winner of 𝗏𝗏𝘅 and the representatives for Eurovision 2024 for Ukraine, Alyona and Jerry Heil with their song Teresa and Maria. And this was outstanding to me. I mean, to me, honestly, watching it, I was like, yeah, they're winning. They deserve to win. They did great. Like this was her. Well, okay. Like of course Alyona is there, but like we know Jerry has been trying for years and years and years. And watching this, I was like, it's her year,
Yeah.
finally, because this was so fucking good. Jerry sounded like pretty much flawless. She was amazing, and Alyona's rap bit just comes in at the perfect time.
So good.
She's such a fucking good, like, she is low-key the star of this for me. She comes in and she just fucking kills it. And I want to learn the rap so bad, but that's never fucking happening. That is never happening. But my one issue is the staging and their styling is way too dark.
Mm.
And it was to a point where like the background and them was all black and you just couldn't see anything. And I just need a little more brightness, either from the LED or from their styling, one of the two. But we can't have like it all be so dark.
Yeah. They definitely made the right choice with this song, I think. I mean, they had a lot of really good choices, but I think this was the best choice. All the different elements that were in the song, between the really interesting vocalization from Jerry, the call and response bits with
Mhm.
Alyona, also her rap parts, like you said, were just really, really great. They fit so
Yeah.
well into the song. The whole package was just really nice, sounded good, performance was good. It's interesting. It's a female duet, which we don't normally see. I mean, the other female duet I can think of is Sisters, and that's
Oh God.
from Germany, and that was years ago at this point. So it's like
Yeah.
other two, like I mean, we do have male and female duets all the time.
We did
Although
have Taya and
also,
Selena.
oh shit, Taya and Selena. Yeah, no, you're right. How could I forget? Um, Taya and Selena, but we don't normally get female
Yeah, it's more
duets.
rare.
In fact, duets in general, I feel like we don't see as
Yeah.
much as we used to. I feel like we used to see them a lot more.
hmm
Um, but I think this is just really, it's really great. And like you said, it's again something a little bit different from Ukraine. It feels really fresh. This is so I'm in a bit of a predicament because between this and Spain, I'm like, I don't know who I want to put in my top slot.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think for you, like to me, thinking you, I thought I would think for sure Spain for you. Just because that one you had your stand card on.
Yeah, from the beginning. And that probably is I think I vibe with that song a lot more, but I think this one like it's one of those situations where it's like the song that I think I like more is probably
Yeah.
Spain, but the song that I think will do better at Eurovision is definitely Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like how I feel with in Finland right now with Sini and
Mm,
Sara. It's like I don't know, I can't even pick between the two because I like them both for different reasons. So
yeah.
I get that 100%. I'm having the struggle with this and Ireland for me. But I
Mm.
think for right now I have Ireland above personally. But
Yeah, well now we're
but
getting to that stage where we can actually start talking about rankings, which is exciting.
I know. Yes, and so Ukraine, I agree, made an amazing decision. I think that this was their best choice, and I mean Ukraine's on top of the leaderboard at the moment. I think for good
Hmm.
reason. This is a really
Yeah.
good song, and yeah. And then we move on to Malta. So Malta, we covered Malta a lot through all the semifinals, through all the hardships that we had with Malta.
Yeah.
And we made it here to the end, to the final with 12 songs. And I gotta say, the show was pretty good.
It was
I
awesome.
It
I
was
enjoyed
pretty,
watching it. And they were
yeah.
very efficient too, which I liked.
Mm, I didn't watch the full show, but the clips were not uploaded on YouTube, so I had to skim through the show to watch all the performances. So I did catch moments. And it seemed fun. The staging was great overall. Like everybody did amazing. So
Sound quality was good. They did
sound
a really
quality
good
was
job with this
great.
show. And they kind of
Yes.
like they did do the little moments where, they're doing little interviews and, green room stuff,
But they
but
were
it wasn't
fast.
like a ton of it. They weren't doing judging or anything. Like it was like song, 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 little bit
Yeah.
of a moment, song, song, song. And there were commercial breaks because it's
Yeah, 5
Malta.
minutes of commercials,
But
but
that's
no
why
overlays.
I was doing chores and stuff. So I was like packing my bag for Finland. And, it was nice to be able to like, okay, well, I can take my eyes off the TV for a minute because I'm going to go
Yeah.
and, fold some laundry. Um, so I thought they just did a great, what a glow up for the show production this year.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, and the music videos and everything. I didn't watch them all in depth 100%, but I watched the snippets of all of them, and I watched, the ones of the songs that I really liked, and the music videos all looked really good. Like they really it looks like they really took good care of these artists and really put their all into like every single one and allowed them all to do their own thing, but support them to do it the best way possible, which
Yeah.
I think is really what you want from a selection. Um, so gotta give a little shout out to Malta
Yeah.
for that. Um, so we can go through the songs from last place again, like we do. So we had Haley, Tell Me That It's Over, who came in last place of the final. And um, I actually thought this was pretty good. When I was doing my notes, I did my notes. I don't know. This was one of the first ones I saw. I think she was early in the running
Mhm.
order. And so I thought, oh, okay, like I understand why this came last place. But actually, after watching it, I was like, actually, she did really good. The staging looked really good. She was an amazing singer. I really actually liked the way that they had the dancers in the back with like in the dark almost at the beginning of the song, and then they came up and started interacting with her. I thought it looked really good. I mean, the song for me is whatever, but like I thought it was a beautiful performance and the staging and everything was really nice.
She sang the hell out of this song.
Hmm.
I mean, I was blown away when I was watching. I was like, "Damn, this girl's awesome." She also had a gorgeous dress on.
Yeah.
I was very into this one actually, and
Really?
it's not really the type of song that I'm
Yeah.
normally into. But she sold me on something I would not normally be sold on, and I think that's really saying something. So I was actually shocked to see her come last because there were songs that I thought were much worse than this one.
Yeah.
So I feel like she was a little bit robbed, to be honest.
I agree. I agree after the fact. Um, then we had Gail Attard with her song Wild Card. And I thought again, like good voice, but like a little bit too much, too singy.
Yeah.
A little too a little too many runs and too like, girl, just sing the song.
I hate the vocal exercisiness. I loved her
Yeah.
dress though, but if the dress is my favorite part, that's a problem.
Yeah. I agree. And then we had Nathan with his song Ghost, and I thought he was really cute.
Hmm.
Thought he was really cute. Actually, you know who he was giving? He was giving what's his name? Oscar. Is it Oscar? Um, what is his name? From no, Omar Rudberg.
Oh yeah, Omar. Yeah, he
Giving
did
a
have a
little
little bit of
Omar
that.
Rudberg cuteness, and he took a literal chunk of brunette staging.
No, for real. I was like, this is Armenia 2023 at home. Like I
Yeah,
was like, he's ripping that off so hard right now, but
yeah.
it
And
it
but
kind of it kind of worked, I guess.
it worked. It didn't really make sense, but it worked, and he looked good. He sounded good. Just again, like not my song.
Yeah.
Not my song. But then we had Mariana Conte with her song Venom. And okay, she's one I see her coming back and winning one day
Mm.
because I saw the vision.
Yes.
I thought, oh, the dancers with the morph suits, we saw them in the audience first before we saw her performance. I thought, what the fuck who are these people and who do they belong to? This is wild. And I thought, oh, it kind of ate. And she had a great vocal. I just didn't think the song really went anywhere, but like she was great. She was amazing and she had a vision and she kind of delivered that. I just think this wasn't her year, but I
Yeah.
really do see her another year she could take it.
Yeah, I appreciated her vision. I was feeling it. I didn't know with the morph suits. I didn't know if red was the right choice, if the red
Mm,
and the denim outfits was the right choice. But I did like the whole idea and the concept of it. She was a really great singer. But I have to say though, when she was doing the chorus, all I was thinking was DENIM. not VENOM,
Oh.
Venom, DENIM, denim. That's what this one was for me. DENIM, denim, like that. But I liked it. This one was really memorable. I thought the song was okay. I think it was better than some of the songs that came above it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And actually, speaking of, we then had
Yeah.
John Bill with his song Man. And I mean, to me, I didn't even understand how this song qualified in the first place, let alone get 8th place above some of these people. What? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not liking the song. The staging's nothing of note for me. It's just nothing of note. Not this song is just weird. I don't know. This song is actually ick to me.
Yeah.
And he seems lovely, but
I don't like it. This was I think the first song on the show as well, and it was like, oof, like at least we got
yeah,
that
why
over
would
with.
they? Yeah. But then we had Gratitude
Our
with her song.
girl.
Yes, with her song topic blah 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 bitch. I felt like a proud mom watching this. She sounded so fucking good. Like this is a person that every time we've seen her perform, she's gotten better and better and better and done more and amplified it in some way. She sounded fucking good.
She did sound good.
She ate this performance up. I loved when she was almost being chased by the camera in one moment, and then they rip off her clothes and she has this gorgeous fucking pink dress that looked fucking, oh my god, so stunning. She looked so fucking good. Then they rip off the skirt, all the dancing, like everything was so fucking good. Like I was watching this and I was thinking, oh my god, she is going to represent Malta one day at this rate with how every fucking time she just more, better, better, better. This is somebody that's gonna keep working, and she's such a fucking Eurovision fan. Like, I really see it for her.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved the way that the idea from that audition or whatever
Mhm.
with the magazine, then it got the whole entourage and like they've got the
Yeah.
you know like the idea continued on through the different iterations, which was just really nice to see. And the outfit with I agree that pink or purple outfit underneath was gorgeous. But the outfit thing, you might not have seen it because you skipped through the episode or
Oh, I saw when the
when the host
with
ripped her
host,
outfit off
yes.
of her. Oh
The
my god, I
I
was
was like
screaming.
living. I was like, oh my god.
He
Iconic.
was having way too much fun ripping that outfit off. I
And
was
then the
like,
other host was just like in the corner, like with her hand over her mouth, like shocked that everything was going on. I was like, I'm living.
it was so funny. That was such a great moment.
Yeah, and she just exudes the energy that I want from Eurovision, especially from a Eurovision fan going into these contests. Like, I don't know. I was so proud of her watching this. She did so fucking good.
Yeah. And seventh place is not bad
It's
at all.
amazing. Yeah, especially with how many songs we started out with to be
Oh my
here
god,
and you get
yeah.
7th out of like 30 something. Yeah, you ate that up. Then we had Lisa Gauci with her song Breathe, and this song was meh. This was a boring little ballad that didn't really have much going for me at all. And she was wearing a gold dress. Okay. It was just like a gold sequin dress. Of all the ballads, I was like, really? This one was like one of the highest ones? The highest of the female ballads. Really?
I mean, it was competently performed, but um it really wasn't anything memorable at all. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a bit of a flop for me. Not a flop in the sense that it wasn't good, but it just, you know,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
take it or leave it.
Yes. But then we had Denise with her song Mara, who was my winner, like by far my winner. And I just the pain that you can imagine when I saw her announcement ahead of the live show that she said that she had bronchitis and that she could barely fucking sing and that she was considering withdrawing, but that she ultimately didn't withdraw because she felt like it was going against the meaning of the song, of empowerment and perseverance. And I was like, oh no, why did this happen to my faves every time? And I really felt like after watching that, I was like, damn, like I really think she could have possibly won because that performance was so fucking slick and on point. I mean, that choreo was like bam, 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 and every moment was hit perfectly. And it was like so well rehearsed. and well done when she was on the floor and she did the little spin around and everything, like, and the bright red with the black and white, and then every time it was like Mara, and then it came up on the screen behind her. It was so fucking good to me, but her vocal just like really was pretty bad. And I felt bad, like, and you could just see like she was trying, but it's just like it was just she couldn't. There, you just couldn't
Yeah.
because, and it was just it was so it pained me to watch it just because of that. But she did so well, like everything other than the vocals, and I really felt like, damn, like she came fifth place, with frankly pretty weak vocals, but I mean, not really her fault. Um,
I don't even think she sounded that bad.
I think
Like,
she sounded pretty bad.
I remember there were some points where I noticed, like, she was cracking a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks." But, like, I wasn't watching the whole thing thinking like, "Oh, she sounds terrible." I didn't know she was sick. And then
Mm,
afterwards, they had interviewed her, and she was crying, and
mm,
I was like, "Oh, something must be going on." Because I remember like, well, yeah, she didn't sound great. Like, is she crying because she didn't sound great? And then finding out like she didn't sound great because she was sick. And so that's
yeah.
really like what she was upset about. It really is too bad because it was a great song, but still fifth place is like
It's
really
great.
good.
It's great. It's just I really love this. I was really invested in this song.
Mm.
This probably would have been my winner if it was selected. So it just pains me. It hurts so much more. And I'm sure it feels the same way for her. It's just like when something's completely out of your control, and like, and especially with this, that like they've been working for months and months and months to this point, and I'm sure she feels like, fuck, like damn, it's been like 3 or 4 months, I swear, of this shit going on since we heard these songs first, because I think she was literally in the first semi too. And so it's been so long. And of course, the fucking week of filming is when it has to happen. It's like, fuck. And it's completely out of your control. That's the worst
Yeah,
feeling.
that's it's like raining on your wedding day.
Yeah. Yeah. But then we had Cyrena by Erba. And, I thought this was cute. I thought it was good. Huh. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if I'm telling myself that because everybody else really loves it. This song that didn't really click with me. I love the Maltese. Like, I'm always an advocate for Maltese. I love a little Maltese girl group. But something about this wasn't clicking for me. I didn't really love their vocals together. Like, sometimes when you're like, oh God, maybe y'all shouldn't be a girl group. Because
Mm.
it's just, I don't think your vocals all work together. And not that anybody sounds bad, but it's just like, I don't think there's really much harmonies going on between all of you guys. And then the styling confused me because they were kind of like in like torn up stripper, drag queen stripper outfits.
They were pantyhose.
Yeah, like,
They were I because I was staring really closely at it. So I think what they had done was at least a few of them they like split down the crotch of the
and
pantyhose
then
and
wore
they
it as a,
one some of them had it where it was like one arm was in one leg and then there was like a twist in the middle and then their leg would be like a leg would be on a leg and then the other leg was on an arm, so they were like really stretching the hell out of those
yeah.
pantyhose. They probably between the four of them I bet they used 20 pairs of pantyhose putting those outfits together. And they were shredding all of them. I bet there were some that got shredded, and they couldn't even use them because they
Yeah.
were like, I don't know. I appreciated it, but I also didn't feel like that was executed very well. And like, if you would look too closely at it, it just looked a little bit messy. Like, it wasn't like it was like a high fashion, like
Yeah.
pantyhose encasement thing. It was just like I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, it was giving very much like, and we love stripper. I love stripper. That's the vibe. But it was giving very much like stripper drag queen Mirage. Anybody who watches Drag Race Mirage. That's her vibe. It's like stripper drag queen. And like you make stuff out of what you got and you kind of just rip up some things and you're like, oh wait, no, but like what if I repurpose these tights that I have and I cut out the crotch and I wear it as a top, which I do sometimes. I've
Same.
done. I mean, hello. But like, what did that have to do with the song?
Yeah.
Like,
They could have had better outfits.
Yeah, like if imagine them in all like really nice girl group, slick costumes, and they don't have to be custom or anything, but like everybody match or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It was fine. Um and then we had Ryan Healy with his song Karma. And I just have a vendetta against this because, like, when everybody's saying this is gonna win, and you're like, no, like, please, God, no, please, please don't win. This cannot win. That's how I felt about the song. And you know how, like, whenever you think something might win and you don't like it, it makes you hate it even more because you're like, do not beat my fave. Um,
Yeah.
Knowing that this didn't win after the fact, I'm like, okay, he did well. It was good. It was good staging. It looked very slick and professional, but I don't like this damn song. You
Mm-mm, me
got
either.
me on my
Ugh.
knees now. Got me back. Shut up. No,
So fucking
stop.
tired. Oh my
Like,
God, that rhyme scheme just kills me. It's rain and pain. It's
yeah, yeah. Not for me. I'm so glad it didn't win.
yeah.
And honestly, top two, good little top two. We had Matt Black, who came in second place with his song Banana. And this was another great attempt for Matt Black, another
Mhm.
great second place for him because this was good. I mean, the song was not a winning song for me. Like he just needed a better song. If he had a better song, I think he would have pulled through the win, but I really like the kind of skull monkey mask that like they had going on of all the dancers, and I like that he does a really good mix of like camp, but still like a good, good song, not, whatever. Uh, I like I like that the dancers were like dressed as monkeys, but not fully in monkey suits. Like they had
Yes.
black fur coats on and cool like 3D printed looking masks. And that was what made them look like monkeys, but still be dancers. Like that was cool. And him fucking riding that
Oh
banana.
my God, I was howling.
Like this man is gonna go to Eurovision one day and he will create iconic moments like that.
Mhm.
He knows how to fucking do that shit.
Okay, I absolutely hate how attracted I am to Matt Black.
Oh my God.
I just don't, he's just so, he's just got such a wonderful, playful, at like, what is it, devil care less attitude. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it that's just so endearing to me. I don't even know if I have a chance with him. I have no clue if he likes women,
I
but
do wonder that. Maybe I do.
I I think I would shoot my shot if I was in a room with Matt Black. Um I really like his music. I don't think that this probably was his best song. Um but it's too bad to let, always a bridesmaid, never a bride for Matt
I
Black.
know. But he's gonna go to Eurovision one day. He will.
Yeah.
Like, it's just period. But speaking of going to Eurovision, we had
Mhm.
the winner of MESC, Sarah Bonnici, with her song Loop. And I'm gonna be honest. Okay, so going into it, my three: Gratitude, Denise, and Sarah. And I just knew Denise wasn't winning after that. Um, and part of me didn't feel like I knew that Gratitude would be an uphill battle.
Mhm.
Um, this was fucking amazing. She really delivered this performance and she really amplified it. And the fucking choreo was crazy impressive. She was rolling around on the floor. She was doing splits. She was getting flipped. She was she was fucking killing it. Her vocals were great. I love the like breathy, sexy voice in the beginning. And I don't know. This song's fucking addictive. Like she says, "You're my addiction." Girl, that's how I feel about Sarah. Like, and that's how I feel about Loop. It's stuck in my head. Like, I need this song to get on fucking Spotify now. I will
Yeah,
say, still
I
slow-mo copy.
ooh, y- it's not fresh. It doesn't feel fresh to me. Um, but I think it's a pretty okay song. I think it was a good choice. I think she'll be able to improve a lot. She's obviously a great dancer, so that'll help. Um,
She was
I
actually a backing dancer in like 2006 for Estonia
Mm.
Junior Eurovision.
Okay, I was gonna say this has to be junior because 2006, like she can't be older than me. So Um, oh, that's funny. Oh, see, I like that when the kids, like, it's so
Or not
cool to
Estonia,
see.
I meant Malta,
Oh,
obviously.
how the experience, like, builds up and helps them get to, like, a higher level. So, I mean,
Yeah.
good for her. Maybe I need to listen to the song a little bit more because it was never one that, like, totally, like, grabbed me from the start, but I do think that it was a good choice based on what they were offered.
You know what's I love a song that's like slow kind of whatever and then bam 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 like fast lyrics. Like I love when she's like Ooh, I'm a days da 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 da
Mhm.
ooh, I'm a da 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 da. Like I don't know, it's just like it makes you want to listen to it over and over again and learn the words and sing along and kind of like you're like, oh wait, okay, now I got it. Now I got the beat. I don't know. This one could really grow on me. I think it just needs to distinguish itself away from slow-mo because it's still giving slow-mo. Like I hate that. Okay, I don't want to say everybody that has a dance break, right, is copying slow-mo. That's not what I'm trying to say, but okay, to be fair, and I saw somebody do a little clip side by side where there's like multiple dance moves that she does that are the exact same move that Chanel does, where she's like leaning on the,
Mhm.
and like all these different things. And the song's already kind of like a similar beat drop to slow-mo. Um, and her styling was
The
similar to her
styling was a
original
bit too
styling.
similar.
That damn Mugler bodysuit back again. Drop it, girl. Drop it. Um, we need distinguish yourself away from slow-mo. Don't be a slow-mo copy, be your own and like, be your own unicorn.
Mm. Well, I think that it's funny like the slow-mo comparisons will come up in times like these, and it's like, well, yeah, because we're talking, if the source material is something that's really rather unoriginal, then when something else is a little bit rather unoriginal, like, yeah, they're going to be a little bit similar because they're just doing the girl bop dance break. That's just
Mhm.
it is what it is. So um I would like to see it try to be something a little bit more
Yeah.
than what
And
we
I
saw
think
at the final.
and I think they will. I hope so. This was really good. And the rumors that she's not picking the song, I don't think are really founded in anything really. Basically all it is that like right now on the Eurovision website it doesn't say loop. It says Sarah was selected. It doesn't say loop is her
Mm,
entry,
okay.
but I don't think she will change it. She doesn't have an established career in the sense that I can imagine her picking a new song,
Yeah,
you
take
know.
it or leave it. I am what I am. It's not
Which
like her. She had a ton of songs to choose from.
exactly. So yeah, and so that was Malta. I really was happy with what Malta picked, and we move on to Lithuania. So I just I'm not vibing with Lithuania. I'm really not. And I'm liking aspects of Lithuania, but I'm not vibing with it. And I will be on. Well, okay, we'll just get into it. Okay, so we had what was this? The third or fourth
I
semifinal
think it
for
was the
Lithuania.
fourth.
We had the fourth semifinal of Lithuania, which means we got one more. The Roop is coming up, y'all. But this was highly anticipated for me because it had Monica Maria. So I'm excited to get into this. So going from bottom, last place we had Vilja with her song Save Me. Now she grabbed my attention right away with her outfit. Crazy choice. Blue morph suit. I don't know what the trend is with these morph suits. Maybe it's not a morph suit because the head's cut out, but it's definitely that like what is that material? Like lycra, like
Yeah.
that super synthetic material bodysuit that you can get off of Amazon, and the bright yellow, like my shirt, yellow boots. I thought, okay, wait, this is fine. But then the more it was going on, and the more she was singing about, there ain't no more slavery. I don't know. I know that I just wasn't. It wasn't working for me. I wasn't working for me. I don't know. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, the outfit was a really crazy choice. Although it was one of the visuals that stuck with me a little bit stronger just because it was
Hmm.
such a choice. Um, But I have to say that actually now that I'm looking at this list, I'm like, what the fuck even are half of these songs? And
I
I
know.
watched the whole show start to finish, and
That's bad.
actually I watched the whole show start to finish, and I'm looking at this list, and I remember Crazy Boots Girl, and the only song that I had any positive feeling about at all, like the only one where I was like, oh, I want to listen to that again, was actually Jigsaw by Martin.
Oh, that was a good
With
one.
the bag thing, the paper
That was
bag over.
really fucking good. Yeah,
It was cool. And even being able to sing really well with that thing on their head and the way that they like brought pieces in together, like it works for me. That was like for me, that was like winner material. I
me
was like,
too.
get this to the fucking final. And then what do they do? It comes fourth, which I think they only take the top two songs, right? So it got
Mhm.
left in the semi. So I like don't even know at this point if I'm gonna watch Lithuania's final because it's like I've not connected with this
Uh,
competition. And it the production and stuff has been fine on the show.
yeah,
It's just the song quality is not there. And there's so many goddamn songs too, so it's like what
yeah.
is happening here?
I agree. That one was really good. I thought that should have qualified that with Monica Maria for me personally. It was so striking and campy visually, but the song itself actually seemed like it had really good, deep, meaningful lyrics. And like, I feel like that is such a good quality to a song that's like, it has that element that grabs your attention. Like, I've never seen anything like that before, but it keeps your attention. But when you actually listen to it, you're like, oh, wait, this is a really good quality song. This isn't some joke. Like,
Mhm.
this is great. I really liked the song Dragons and Rainbows also by Hansanova. I loved it because this is my vibe. I'm sorry. This is Renaissance Festival playlist immediately. Renata, we will be playing this song when we frolic down the
Okay.
streets of the medieval village of Tallinn.
Oh my God,
Um,
yes. I'm so excited.
this
Guys, we're gonna eat like meat on a stick. It's
I'm,
gonna be it's gonna be so fun. They've got all this medieval shit in Tallinn. And I
I'm
can't wait.
I'm literally so excited. Like anybody who knows me knows I live for the Renaissance Festival. I live for this kind of vibe. This was giving cosplayer, this was giving Dungeons and Dragons. This wasn't giving, oh, let this win, but this was giving this is good for what it is, and
Hmm.
I gotta stand. Um, and then we had our qualifiers. So we had Monica Maria came second. To me, I was gagged. Of the top two, I thought this should have won. I thought this was beautiful. I loved the way they staged this. I thought it was very unique but effective choice to have her in a like headset mic sort of thing because it allowed the entire environment to feel so intimate and natural and authentic. Like she is really sitting in her bedroom or sitting in a forest and just singing her emotions out. And I was expecting something, more dramatic, like maybe some of her other entries, but I thought this was really, really beautiful. And this could be potential winner. I think I do still prefer 𝗥𝗏𝘆, um, but I thought this was really gorgeous as well. And this one stood out very much so from everybody else. Like watching everybody, this one to me it felt like, oh, like I could see this winning because it's so different from everybody else.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty good, but I don't want to listen to it again.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that.
And it's got I don't know, it's got a little bit of like that like country vibe sort
But
of.
I like that.
Yeah, that's true. You do like that. So
But I like it only from specific people. Like I really like a 𝗬𝗆𝘆 country. I really like a Monica Maria country. Like I like that kind of really sweet and like just I don't know. I like the way that she does it. Like she got me singing, "If I leave one day, you better make sure I'll be bound there's a way." Like I don't know what it is about my girl, but she really make. Let me put the cowboy. Oh wait, hold on, wait. Look at what I got right by my feet. Hold on.
oh my goodness.
Wait. Oh, is it all right? Whatever.
Yeehaw.
Woo! It looks like a fucking like Quaker hat.
Oh my God. Yeah, it does. It looks hilarious on top of your headphones.
I know. And then we had the winner of the semi, was 𝗲𝗏𝘅𝘅 with their song Time. I'm sorry. I can't believe this won. I can't believe this qualified. This was a no for me. It was so theatery. It was so cringe. It was messy. It was shocked. I'm shocked. I'm shocked this beat Monica Maria. Like, what?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling this one at all, but it's not the type of thing that I would be into. Come on, let's be serious. It was just, yeah, it was way too theater, and I can't believe it won either. I'm so mad about Jigsaw not making it. Like between these two,
Yeah.
like it really sucks. I'm angry at Lithuania right now.
I agree. It's but I love 𝗥𝗶𝘆. So
Yeah.
I think they've got a good entry that they can pick and that my stand card can still be on. Okay, so just make the right decision. If you made it to the end of the episode, I say
Drop a
let's do.
cowboy hat.
Oh, see, I was gonna say drop a cardboard box.
Oh my God, drop a cardboard box or a cowboy hat. I guess which
Yes.
song do you like more? Do you like Monica Maria, drop a cowboy hat? If you liked Martin Jigsaw, drop a cardboard box.
Yes, yes. And let's see. Okay, so we got to get into our favorite songs of right now, which also I love. Everybody's been sending like people whatever people comment, and also people will send me messages of the songs that they're listening to now because of that. And I've been listening to them all. I've been finding good music from you guys. So
Oh my God, put that into a playlist and then we can share that.
I should
People's,
do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
people's songs. That would be really cool.
Okay, so the song that I have been really obsessed with right now is Eurovision related, but not specifically. Okay, so it's from the alleged Polish selection. That is like
Oh.
not a selection, but like artists have been revealing their songs that they like submitted. And it is from the singer Luna, and it's the song The Tower. Um, it's just I'm obsessed with this artist now. I like put her music on and she has an album out and it's so fucking good. It's like cool, chill Polish pop that's like a good vibe for when it's dark out and it's cold and you're standing at the bus
Mm.
and it's a good vibe. But this song, The Tower, is very different. It's not in Polish, which I'm a little sad about, but it's really fucking good. It's really catchy. I'm the one that builds the tower. And the music video is so cool. She's got a really striking image of like white blonde hair and white eyebrows and like very big eyes. And she's like, I don't know, very pale skin. Like it's like white.
Mm.
Um, like hair, skin, like everything's so pale and ghostly, and it's like really cool. Um, this isn't actually my winner for the Polish selection, but I'm obsessed with this song.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out. So my song this week is going to be um it's called 𝗫𝗍𝗆𝗆
Mm.
and it's by B featuring Jambo.
Oh.
Uh it's Finnish. B is awesome. Her entire album that she put out is amazing.
Mm.
And I am
Is it
told
spelled BEE?
BEE, yeah, like the animal
Mm-mm.
or the
Like the
insect.
animal.
Like the insect. But Jambo is a really awesome Finnish musician, or
Mm-mm.
maybe a rapper, you could say. But he's got a lot of great songs, and he does a lot of like featured track type stuff. Great
Ooh,
song.
mhm. Nice. I love that every week you suggest Finnish, and you're gonna need. I'm so serious. You're gonna need to send me your Finnish playlist because I need to
Did I
get that.
not do it? Oh my God,
Oh, I
I'll
don't
send
know
it
if you
right
did,
now.
but I need it because I need it for my trip. I need to start studying. I need to actually prepare TikToks, and hopefully they're not UMG songs.
Yeah. Yes, that is too bad.
Like I literally went through my TikTok and all of my TikToks are muted. Like all of them.
That blows.
I know. Like all like used Klein songs are all UMG
No, but he's such a
or Yoast.
TikToker too.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know.
Oh
Like
my
actually
God.
I it's weird because like it's I don't know. I feel like I feel bad for the artists, but the artists seem happy because it's like they're fighting for compensation for them, which is
Hmm.
good. But I also feel bad because if there's no resolve and their songs just cannot be used on TikTok like for a really long time, I mean, that's kind of TikTok's kind of what's controlling the music industry. And if you can't
Yeah.
have your music on TikTok, then like Alessandra also, her music's all UMG, like it's
Yeah,
kind of,
it's not good.
yeah.
But it
Hopefully,
does show a problem with the music industry right now because that's not how it's supposed to be.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I'm aware, you can still use Instagram Reels. So
Okay.
so we'll just stick to that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
speaking of Instagram, make
yes.
sure that you follow us on all of our social media if you're not already following.
Mhm.
I'll be posting at 𝗫𝗏𝘅𝘆 and Maxxy will be posting as well on our trip. So you definitely want to check that out because there's going to be so much stuff we're not even ever going to be able to talk about all of it. So if like you want all the like little tidbits, you have to follow us so you can get like, basically hour by hour updates on our trip as it's happening.
Yes, literally. And hopefully, I mean, hey, this time, like by the time y'all see this, me and Renata are going to be together. Hopefully, next episode. I mean, I'm assuming we're filming an episode together, so live.
Yeah, well, I'm
um,
gonna bring two little mini microphones so we can try and film an episode. If we have to do it in a train going
ooh.
from one city to the other,
Oh
I
my
guess we'll
god.
have to do that.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for UMK. I'm so excited for next week. This is like what we've been building up to. Like this
Yeah.
is our Eurovision this year. So I'm just so excited. Ah! Oh my gosh. And yeah, if you guys want to follow us on our trip to UMK, of course, make sure you follow both of us on our social channels. All the links will be linked in the description down below. So you can make sure you're following us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on everything, even though neither of us really post on TikTok, but
Yeah.
we're on there.
Mhm.
So anyways, and of course on YouTube, we'll be posting vlogs and stuff and everything. So like make sure you guys are following so you don't miss out on any of that stuff. And yeah, guys, that was episode 24 of the 𝗫𝗏𝘅𝘆 podcast. My name is 𝗏𝗡𝘅 Rainbow.
And I'm Renata from the East Coast.
And we will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.